Ghanatube so for open some ahudo etia now odi weni action here the latest, the happenings, the shocks, the happy ones and all that was for Nina Ghanatube so and I was Ebeka 8 personal young wasted time bibiano was for Dimechi Nanya a war on young Kungoti and Bra.
Has hinted at possible adjustment to the country's $3 billion IMF bailout, stating that securing additional funds remains an option. Under the current program, which began in May 2023 and runs until 2026, the government must achieve a primary surplus of 1.5% of GDP by end of 2025, leaving little room for investment. Now, speaking to Bloomberg on the sidelines of the Munich Security Conference, President Mahama reaffirmed his commitment to the program, emphasizing Ghana's determination to stay on course.
We've not talked about an extension of the program. We are determined to continue with this program. I think that it means that we must be more prudent in our handling of our finances. We must also look on the expenditure side and see how we can cut waste and also shift resources to more priority programs. And so it's a whole basket that we're looking at. We also have the issue of the debt restructuring and the humps that have been created. This year we have to pay in excess of 15 billion on the domestic debt exchange. So what we've done is to reactivate the sinking fund and put more resources into it to take care of the repayments that have to be made this year. But all in all, we have a cordial relation with the IMF. The next review, which will be the 4th review, is due in April. But before that, we'll present the budget in March. And so the budget will take into focus some of the issues that have come out from the staff mission. We're hoping to receive the aid memoir today or tomorrow, and looking at the issues that IMF raises, we'll incorporate them in the budget. We've had a good discussion, and if it's necessary to look at additional funds or to extend the program, we'll look at it. But for now, we're determined to continue on this trajectory.
Now, following the freeze on foreign aid by the USA, President John Mahama has decried the slow rate of Africa's development. This he attributes to colonial policies designed to ensure the continent's continual reliance on the West, which persists today. He has therefore called for reforms and collaboration among African countries to chart a path toward economic independence. He spoke at the 38th session of the African Union Assembly held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
The economic impact of colonialism on Africa has been profound. Historical estimates suggest that the continent lost trillions of dollars in both human and material resources due to colonial exploitation. The forced extraction of wealth, which included minerals, cash crops, and labor, deprived African nations of the capital and infrastructure necessary for sustainable development. Colonial policies intentionally stifled industrial growth, leading to a dependency on foreign economies that persists even till today. The systemic plundering of Africa's natural resources, coupled with the disruption of traditional governance structures, has resulted in lasting consequences, worsening poverty, underdevelopment, and inequality throughout the continent. In November 2023, Ghana hosted the Accra Reparations Conference, a historic gathering that brought together African heads of state, scholars, and representatives of the global African diaspora to advance the reparations movement. This conference reaffirmed the urgent need for comprehensive reparatory justice and laid the foundation for stronger advocacy and policy frameworks. It provided a platform for dialogue on the financial, cultural, and social restitution necessary to address the enduring effects of slavery and colonialism.
Now, John Mahama also calls for resource mobilization to end a culture of silence on racism while advocating for comprehensive reparatory justice. However, he emphasized that reparations should go beyond financial compensation to include rehabilitation guarantees of non-repetition of abuses and measures to correct structural inequalities.
The outcomes of this conference served as a guiding pillar for our collective efforts moving forward. The 2025 AU theme of the year is therefore a call to galvanize efforts towards reparatory justice. It is an appeal to ensure that the dignity, rights, and well-being of Africans and their descendants are fully restored. Reparations involves not only financial compensation, but also restitution, rehabilitation, and guarantees of non-repetition for the abuse of fellow human beings. It is also about truth-telling, historical accountability, and the restoration of agency to those who have been marginalized for centuries. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the call for reparations, while including extends beyond financial redress to encompass addressing structural inequalities, ensuring educational and economic opportunities, reclaiming cultural heritage, and amplifying the voice of Africa and the diaspora communities on the global stage. Achieving justice requires multi-stakeholder collaboration. Today's pre-launch event serves as a crucial platform for concertedly rolling out constructive consultation, dialogue, and partnership.
Now, away from the presidency, the dust is yet to settle over the controversial raid on the home of former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. What was supposed to be a national security operation has left more questions than answers, with concerns about transparency, due process, and even the emotional toll on the Ofori-Atta family. Deputy Attorney General Designate Justice Srimsai is leading calls for accountability, demanding that national security explain why the raid was conducted in the first place. Speaking on News 5 with Samson Lade, he stressed that Ghanaians deserve to know the justification for such a drastic action.
Clear now, they were not clear before. For example, we know that 2 state institutions are looking for the Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta. That is the National Security and then the Office of the Special Prosecutor. The second thing that is clear is that there are arrest warrants for him as well. Now, you and I have been working on these police military brutalities for some time now, and our position on these matters are well documented and are clear. The question, however, is what caused the agencies, I mean the national security, to employ that kind of arrest? That we sitting outside may not know, because we know very well that there have been situations where national security have invited our clients and we accompany them to the national security. They will speak with them for as long as they want and will go. There have been situations where national security will stop people on the way and pick them up. There have been situations where they will go to their house the way you described. So perhaps what we need to understand, or what we need to look for at this point, is what really caused the national security to do that. Sitting outside, we may not be able to answer these particular questions. However, we also understand the pain that the relatives and the families of these persons have gone through. And if you were in their situation, and as some of the NDC MPs have narrated, it is not something that you can be proud of or you find pleasant. But the question still remains that we need to find out exactly what informed the national security to employ this particular strategy in going to the house.
I was a woman as a pass and would image the cotier and send a buy. Now the comment me our comment section. I met prayer. I can Nina Eddie Amo. I had a Ghana tips for the story as usual. I was here for a crowd.